SMT Nation, we back. Nation, we got big news out of T-Mobile and Dish. They've had this spectrum issue ongoing for a while. It's been several months. It's actually been an ongoing transaction for a couple of years. Dish has had the option of purchasing 800 megahertz spectrum from T-Mobile since the T-Mobile and Sprint merger occurred, but they haven't had the capital to do it. They haven't had the cash to be able to buy the 800 megahertz spectrum, valued at, I believe, about $3.5 billion. And because of that, this spectrum has been on ice. Anyways, more details on this development. I'll be sure to link the article for you here in the description of this video. And of course, in the description are ways to support us if you want to show your support to your favorite creators and then show your appreciation for all the great content on this channel. Go ahead and support us. Links are in the description. All right, so the U.S. Department of Justice, or the DOJ, which, basically permitted and allowed the merger to happen between T-Mobile and Sprint and involved Dish, is going to support Dish in their request to receive more time to pay for the 800 megahertz spectrum from T-Mobile that they had as a result of the Sprint merger. And in a recent September filing in a district court, the DOJ said that a modest extension for Dish to be able to acquire the spectrum will serve the competition goals of the final judgment enabled Sprint to merge with T-Mobile. Folks, this is the same exact thing I discussed in my last video on this matter. I made it very clear in that video. The DOJ has a vested interest in allowing Dish to survive and allowing Dish to be enabled to compete. And that was what was going to happen. And there were some folks in the comment section that disagreed and said no. And I'm trying to be very clear about my intentions here. It's not about whether or not you like Dish or you like T-Mobile. These are regulated agencies that have a vested interest in certain things happening. And this is proof of that. There was some references to 2013 in a petition where T-Mobile cited how critical low band was for indoor coverage and penetration and reach of signal, right? And they the DOJ kind of used it against T-Mobile here, right? And then, not much has changed, right? So, with the value being at $3.6 billion and basically Dish not having it, a request for more time, the DOJ has pushed back against T-Mobile, who is forcing the issue, saying that they have to pay to maintain the licenses for longer. They want to get it sold. They want to move on. But, clearly T-Mobile is in a much better financial situation than Dish. So it's going to be falling on deaf ears with respect to the judge, right? A judge who I think is Timothy Kelly is going to be overseeing this. And now things, having the support of the DOJ, Dish probably has increased the likelihood that they're going to receive some sort of an extension. I know they said they wanted to get a 10-month extension of time to make the purchase. All indications that it might be something more realistic, like a 7-month extension, some kind of like a negotiated time frame. So this could be the case. This could be happening. They also kind of laid out a scenario where, and this is from I believe some kind of a investor report here in a DOJ filing about the request, something about Dish possibly using 600 megahertz licenses in New York as a partial consideration for the purchase of 800 megahertz spectrum, right? And we learned about what we've been learning about what T-Mobile does with 600 megahertz with respect to leases and purchases from Columbia Capital and Comcast as well, and some Dish has that kind of spectrum too. But it would create some kind of like a spectrum swap of some sort. And NSR New Street Research analyst Jonathan Kaplan said it looks like a positive for both Dish and bondholders with respect to a loan-to-value transaction. So that would be kind of interesting to see if that could work as well. Anyways, this is kind of messy. This is kind of stinks that we're caught up in this transaction. Still kind of waiting for things to happen. But like I said before, folks, it's very clear to me that the DOJ is trying to make this work with Dish and trying to make it work, and they don't look stupid with T-Mobile. There's a lot of agencies that look dumb right now, after the things that T-Mobile has done and probably will continue to do to competition within the industry. And they're just trying to keep things somewhat accountable for that company. So if I were T-Mobile, just pump the brakes, hold your horses. You'll get it sold off eventually. You know, calm yourself and everything will be fine. They're just, you guys know how T-Mobile is. If something doesn't go their way perfectly, they throw a hissy fit and get pissy about stuff. You see how they're acting towards Spectrum Auction 108. It's like the end of the world, right? But this, obviously, they want it to happen fast, right? See how things, when they're not perfect, T-Mobile acts a certain way when things aren't perfect. All right, but it's just worth noting. Put this on the back burner. We should be getting more news on this and developments from it at some point in 2024. And we'll see if we get a ruling on this officially from Timothy Kelly, the judge, here shortly. All right, so stay tuned. We'll keep you posted. We'll let you know what's going on in a later video. Thanks for watching and supporting. Like, share, and subscribe for more, and we'll see you all on the next video. Peace.